श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापत्कमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सतं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य ईश्वरम् गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining. So let's get started. We are reading chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. It's called Transcendental Knowledge. I'll share my screen so you have you can see the verses. So we have read so far till verse 21st. And some of you were not there last time, but basically we were talking about the qualities of a Nishkam Karmi, or a person who follows the principle of Nishkam Karmi Yoga, who is engaged in a karma. Okay, we discussed about what is karma, akarma, vikarma. So what are the various types of action? So there is action, there is inaction, and inaction can have two meanings, and then there is a bad action, right? Vikarma. What are the consequences of each? What is the destination of each? There was a very important verse that we discussed quite a bit in detail, was verse 18, which is a little bit difficult to understand, because Krishna talks about how an intelligent person sees in action, and action in action. So we understood that in action is a good thing. This is a good thing. This is a karma. This is the principle of Nishkam Karma Yoga. In action. The second part of this verse, action in inaction, this one, this is not so helpful. This is not something we should engage in. Okay. And the tricky part about this verse was that the definition of inaction changes in both phrases. In the first phrase, in action, which is good, which is a karma, inaction refers to a karma, meaning you're doing an action, but you're doing it in such a smart way, you're doing it in such an intelligent way that you do not get the results of that action. Okay, so that action is as good as inaction, because you did not get touched by it, you did not get trapped or entangled by it. So such an action is basically inaction, because it did not give you any results or reactions. You never have to enjoy or suffer the results of that action. And we took the analogy of how, let's say, a doctor goes to examine, let's say, an infected patient, let's say a COVID patient. But if they're smart, if they're intelligent, they will wear their protective gear, they'll wear their mask and shield and everything. So even though they are engaging with a contaminated person, they do not get contaminated by them, because they are engaging with them in a very smart way. So this is the way one should work in this world. If we are engaging in with this world, the world which is so contaminated, which will entangle us, which will bind us, okay, which will give us reactions, but we do actions in such a way in this world that we do not get bound by activities, then that type of action is the smart way of working. That is the art of working. That is an intelligent type of work. Okay, so that is a karma. Whereas the second half of this, which one should not engage in, is action in inaction, which means here in the definition of inaction is when somebody neglects a work, where somebody does not do their due diligence, they shirk away their duties or responsibilities, right? Like Arjun was ready to run from this battlefield. He was not going to engage in this battle, even though he's a Kshatriya. So that is a sinful action. Okay. That type of inaction where one does not do something they should be doing will actually bring really bad reactions. So that is action in inaction. Okay. Which means you will get reactions from it. This type of bad action will bring you negative reactions. You will get sin. You will get some lower results, poor outcomes from that type of bad action. So this one should not do. So this is just a quick summary of this 18th verse, which is a little bit tricky to understand. And then next 2 or 3 verses, we did 19, 20, and 21. Krishna talks about various qualities of such a person who engages in akarma. What are the characteristics or symptoms of such a person who is not attached to the results of their activities? So they are working smartly in this world. They are very active in this world. They have not given up any activities, but they are acting in such a way that the reactions do not touch them because they are not attached to the results of the activities. Okay. So, which means they are not working for personal gains. They are not working for their personal sense enjoyment. They are working out of love, out of service, out of duty with detachment. Okay. So, whatever they do everything for the service and for satisfaction of Krishna. Okay. They use everything that they have been given in service of Krishna. This is the various symptoms or features, you can say, of a qualities of a person who is engaging in akarma, in action and action. Okay. So today we have, so this was the last verse. I'll just read the translation where we stopped. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus, working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. So, this is a very nice summary of a karma that he's not getting any reactions. His mind and intelligence are perfectly controlled. Okay, you need control of mind and intelligence to engage in a karma or nishkam karma, because your mind and intelligence and your senses will want you to enjoy this world. They would want some personal gain, some selfish benefit, some fruitive results for themselves. But if the soul is in control of the mind and intelligence, if soul perfectly controls their mind, intelligence, and senses, then they can engage in nishkam karma. Otherwise, it's very difficult to engage in service because we want to indulge our mind and senses, mind, intelligence, and senses. Right? This mind, intelligence, and senses are the gross and subtle body. They will keep annoying the soul to do things for them and not for service of Lord. So you have to have mind, intelligence, and sense control. So such a person will not have proprietorship over his possessions, okay? Which means he will not be possessive of the results or possessive of various things he has been given. He will use everything in service of Lord. He will use his body, his talents, his resources, his skill set, his community, his country, everything that he has been given, money, home, right? Everything he'll be, his possessions, everything, all the resources, all the faculties, all the facilities, he will be not claiming proprietorship over them, knowing that the real proprietorship is with the Supreme Lord. He is the real owner of everything. And I have just been lent these things for a short period of time to use in service of my Master, the Supreme Lord. So he will act only for the bare necessities of life. Okay, he will just try to maintain the body and soul together and engage in the service. And thus working, he will not be affected by any sinful reaction. So this is sort of a summary of a karma. Then next couple verses, Krishna will still give you more characteristics of an nishkam karmi or person who's engaged in a karma. Okay. Let's see what are some more qualities of such a person. So let's go to our next verse for today. I'll I'll lead and you can follow after me. Bhagavad Gita 4.22. Yadrichalaabhasantushto
यदृच्छलाभसन्तुष्टो
दुष्टो
dvandvatito vimatsara
द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः
द्वन्द्वातीतः
samasiddhav asiddhau cha
समासिद्धावसिद्धौ च
kritvapi na nibhadyate.
कृत्वापि न
कृत्वापि न
निबध्यते.
निबध्यते.
Can somebody read the translation? And then you can read the purport
I
also.
can read, Mataji.
Yes, Mother.
Okay. Translation. He who is satisfied with gain, which comes of his own accord, who is free from duality, and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions.
Let's look at Sanskrit very quick and then you can continue reading, Mataji. So this let's look at the Sanskrit. So what are some more qualities of such a person? So yad richa labh santushto. Santushto word, it's a Hindi word. Okay, so you can easily understand. Santusht means that he's very satisfied. What is he satisfied with? Yad richa labh. Whatever labh, whatever gains come of their own accord. So, in the due course of performing his duties, right? Let's say we are working, we are doing things in the world, we are doing things for others or for our job or at home or for our community. So many things we're engaged in. Whatever they get out of those activities as part of their duty, as part of their in the due course of that performing that activity, you will get something. He is just satisfied with that. So we discussed this concept of over endeavoring last time. He does not over endeavor. Okay, he does not become very consumed by the results. Okay, that for example, if I'm doing some charity work for my community, then I should get some, people should appreciate me, give me some accolades, and garland me with flowers and all this, right? He's not over endeavoring for these kind of things. Whatever comes of its own accord. Now, if something comes, fine. If something doesn't come, that's also okay. He will, regardless of whatever comes or not comes, he will do his duty, his responsibility with full diligence, with full absorption, focus, attention, as in the mood of service. So he'll be satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord. Okay. So that's first line, he's satisfied. So this is a quality of such a person, he will be satisfied. So person who's engaged in akarma is engaged in akarma out of love and service, right? Out of his dedication, out of faith, loyalty towards Lord. So he will be satisfied. Dvandva tito. So dvandva, you know this word, dvandva means duality. He and something to understand, this world will always is a world of dualities. Okay, dualities means dvandva or good and bad thing. Everything has two sides in this world. There will be either failure or success, right? Victory or defeat, poor or rich, like that. So there is always good and bad sides to everything. So when we are engaged in some kind of in any kind of work, there will be dualities. There will be success or failure. Inevitably, there will be either success or failure. Either we will be criticized or we will be applauded. Something good or bad will happen in the due course of our life in while performing various activities or various responsibilities. Okay, but he is steady during those dualities. Okay, he lets those dualities roll over his back. He's not very concerned by the good and bad things that happen, as long as he has done his part with perfect mood of love and devotion and service, right? Vimatsara, he's free from envy. Okay. So let's say, there will be opportunities for envy also. Again, so there will be opportunities for good and bad or dualities when we are doing work, and there will be opportunities for envy also. So it's possible that you may do your job perfectly, but somebody else who you think is not as focused, is not working as hard, may get more credit, may get more promotions or more appreciation by the superiors, by the boss, right? May have a higher paycheck, higher salary, but not. Or they may have less difficulty, various things. So there will be opportunities for envy and there will be opportunities for dvandva during the course of your work. But this person will stay steady in both situations. He will be Vimatsara, or you may know a very famous word, Nirmatsara. Okay, Nirmatsara means non-envious. It comes in Bhagavata many times. I believe it comes in Bhagavad Gita also. Nirmatsara, very important quality to have, to be non-envious. Sama. So Sama means he'll stay Sama or steady, fixed, regardless of whatever Dvandva or envy comes in his way. So three things basically we discussed. Three things can come in the course of our work. One, there will be opportunity for ambition. Okay, there will be opportunities for, let's say, more endeavors, more promotions, more accolades, whatnot. So ambition, but he will stay satisfied. There will be opportunities for dualities. He will stay steady. There will be opportunities for enviousness. He will stay uh, free from envy. Okay. Siddhau asiddhau cha. So then Krishna further elaborates that whether he gets siddhi or asiddhi, right? So no matter how hard you worked, how much focused you were, how much your intentions were right, sometimes you will be misunderstood or you will have failure. So you may not be successful every time in your endeavors, right? You may have studied very hard, may still not get the best grades or best whatever position or whatever entrance exam you could not clear, right? So many things will happen. So siddhi or asiddhi, success or failure will happen. Kritvapi na nibaddhite. He will still keep doing his activity and will not become affected by these extra ambitions, by the dualities, by success or failure, or by enviousness. So this is the qualities of such a person. So it's a very nice state to be in because we become so consumed by the things, by the outcomes that happen as part of our duty, good or bad outcomes, or ambitions, or enviousness, or competition, or criticism, comparisons that happen at the workplace, or not even at workplace, but even in the home. Somebody may compare, let's say, two women in the house may be competing with each other, that who cooks better, things like that. Even small, very very to a very small extent, and to the largest context in terms of nations fighting with each other, whatnot. So you can make it as big or as small as possible, but there will always be these opportunities for dualities, ambitions, enviousness, and good or bad outcomes. But such a person is very steady. So there is no scope for anxiety or depression or dejection for him. Okay. Let's read this. Mataji, please go ahead.
A Krishna conscious person does not make endeavor even to maintain his body. He is satisfied with gains which are obtained of their own accord. He neither begs nor borrows, but he labors honestly as far as in his power and is satisfied with whatever is obtained by his own honest labor. He is therefore independent in his livelihood. He does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Krishna consciousness. However, for the service of Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of material world. The duality of material world is felt in terms of heat and cold or misery and happiness. A Krishna conscious person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, he is steady both in success and in failure. These signs are visible when one is fully in transcendental knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I think we've discussed it, and Prabhupada is giving more example of dualities, that in this world there will be dualities, heat and cold. And you remember the famous verse from second chapter, 2.14, that you have to just tolerate those dualities, heat and cold. They will come as part of life in this world because the nature of this world is that of dualities, heat and cold, misery and happiness. Can anyone recite that verse? 2.14, we had memorized it at the time.
About the first line where it's something Shitoshana Sukhadukada Matra Sparshasthu Kaunteya Shitoshana Sukhadukada Agama Apayino Nityas Tam Titiksha Bharata.
Very bold. Very nice.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Perfect.
The first line Nena reminded me.
Perfect. Even better. Okay, good. So, yeah.
Mataji,
Yes,
yeah,
Prabhu.
Mataji, what is the Hindi words for heat and cold?
Hindi? Oh,
Yeah. Heat
Garmi
and
and Sardi? like heat.
Sheet and Ushna. Sheet and Ushna.
In
Oh,
Sanskrit,
yeah.
Sheet and Ushna.
Oh, yeah.
In
Yeah.
Hindi, Garmi and Sardi. Like that you're asking?
Yes, yes, Mataji. I'm
So
done. Yeah.
that verse says Shitoshna, Sukha Dukkhada. So just like heat and cold comes, you have to tolerate the
Yeah.
happiness and distresses in this world. And they all arise from sense perception. So basically, they're temporary, they'll come and go. And a Krishna conscious person realizes that one just has to tolerate them, they'll come and go. So he does not allow those things to hamper his service in Krishna consciousness, that they're part of the of being alive in this material world, part of being having taken a body in this world. So we don't need to get so perplexed by good or bad outcomes. So he's not disturbed by the dualities of this material world. Okay. And then I was just, this is just a little side point to understand. He does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. This is a very solid line. What it means is, we take so many, I'll just give you some understanding on this because we are all devotees trying to serve the Lord. We are engaged in various aspects of devotional service. So we are taking so much anxiety in this world. We are, right from the childhood, like we're studying hard for exams, going through entrance exams, entering into professional colleges, staying away from home in hostels and whatnot, and going to different countries to earn a living. Like so much anxiety we have taken on, right? So for making a mark in this world, we take so much anxiety in this world. But when it comes to devotional service, often people make excuses and do not take anxiety. So this is just something to, if you take anxieties for Krishna, actually that is valued much more because that will last with you forever. What to say of taking anxieties? Even if you do anything for Krishna, it will last in your spiritual account. It will become your spiritual credit forever for your eternal life. Krishna is a master who does not, he's your father, he's your Lord. He does not forget even a single small service that you did for him. And what to speak of if you took anxieties for him? Like if you stepped out, like we were discussing the other day about book distribution with some devotees. It's a little bit of anxiety provoking service because you have to go out, you have to stand, and you don't know how people will respond to you, to your giving them spiritual books. It is an anxiety provoking service. So you have to step out of your comfort zone. So stepping out of your house to impart this spiritual knowledge, imagine what Prabhupada did. He stepped not only out of his home, he stepped out of the country, he stepped out of Vrindavan at the age of 70. My Guru Maharaj likes to call it Jalduta consciousness. So Jalduta consciousness means he went on a boat, on that boat, the Jalduta. Think of Hanuman. We were talking about Lord Ram yesterday. What anxiety he took for Lord Ram. He, just like Hanuman flew across the oceans to get to Mother Sita, right? So much anxiety, so much he did not know that he could do that service. And Prabhupada did not know that he could do that service either. He just went on the boat and just by the orders of his Guru Maharaj. So much anxiety he took to come to the Western world so he can spread this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So this is what Prabhupada is saying, does not hesitate to act in any way for satisfaction of Krishna. Here, Krishna is asking Arjun to do that as well. Yes, this battle is anxiety provoking. It's a battle. It's not a bed of roses. There will be, people that will die, people that are very dear to you will die, and you will feel their loss for rest of your life. You've made memories with them. You've spent your life with them. You've learned with them, or you have sat on their laps and grown, and they have, brought you up in Vatsalya Bhav, and you will have to kill them today. So it's going to be heart wrenching pain, agonizing pain. But I want you to do this service for me. Take this anxiety for me. And what are we required to do? We just have to step out of our house to come to the programs, to participate in Sankirtan movement. That's how easy Mahaprabhu has made it. And even easier, Prabhupada has given us the books. I have already written the books. All you have to do is to go out and give the books to people. So that's all the anxiety we have to take for the satisfaction of Krishna, for satisfaction of Prabhupada. So In our community, we are big advocates of book distribution. So if you've not done this wonderful, extraordinary service of book distribution, please do it. It's a preaching beyond anything. It's much better than the type of preaching that I'm doing right now. This does not compare to that at all. This is, just speaking, but that's actually speaking and doing and ad-libbing, like you're coming up with what to speak to this person, understanding their heart and personally engaging with a person, and within a few minutes you want to convince them of the spiritual knowledge and convince them of the instructions of Krishna. So yes, there will be some anxiety, but we have resources. We can train you, we can give you, all the things, all the instruments, all the tools, all the weapons you need for that, to feel confident in that service. But all you have to do is to become an advocate and step out and speak up for it. So this is what that line made me think about. Let's go to the next verse.
Mataji, I have a question now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so to overcome the anxiety, so for example, like if I'm trying to do something and I do not know whether the outcome will be coming in favor of me or may not be. So in that case, do I need to believe that the result would be positive and believe only in the God and proceed with what I'm doing?
So Prabhu, so there are two aspects to this. One is when you start out an activity, okay? I'll give you some example. I don't know exactly what context you're asking, but let's say a child has to take an exam to enter into a professional school, okay? Entrance exam for medical school, let's say. So his goal should be in a positive outcome, right? That I want to enter into medical school. This is his goal, okay? Now the result is he either gets into the school, or he does not get into the school, right? That's positive or negative result. He does not know what the result will be, but his goal is that he wants to get into the school. So when you start out an activity, you should have a goal in front of you, that my goal is that I want to get, let's say, 100% marks on this exam, or I want to get A plus, or I want to be one of the top 5 students of the class, or I want to get into this professional school. That's his goal. So you set your goal, and then whatever you need to do, you do to the best of your ability. Okay. You find the right teachers, you find the right mentors, guides, proper association of people who will encourage you towards achieving that goal. You create an environment around you, your lifestyle, you fashion in such a way that will help you towards that goal. Okay. So you do everything to the best of your ability with best possible guidance. Okay. Then once you have done that, you have taken the exam. Okay. Now there is still, let's say, 3 months before the result comes. Now it's beyond you. Now it's up to in the hands of Krishna. Okay. You have sent your prayers up. Okay. You have done this work very prayerfully. Okay. With proper blessings from your teachers, from your elders, from your parents, mentors, everyone. Okay. You have their blessings. You did in this mood. Now leave the results to Krishna. Okay. Because the result is decided by many things. It is decided by your past karma that plays into it, which is beyond your control. Okay. You did to the best of ability the things that were in your control. Now it is out of your hands, it is out of your control. Now there is no point sitting and worrying about it. Now just have faith in Krishna that whatever result I get, good or bad result, will be ultimately in the long run in my favor. Okay. Let's say I did not get into medical school. That means I did not deserve to get into it right now. Okay. Maybe because of some past karmic reactions, I'm getting purified. I need to put more effort. Okay. Krishna is teaching me some lesson, something different I needed to do, a different approach I needed to take. But there is some purification happening for me on a spiritual level. So, on a material level, it may feel like a setback because you did not get the goal that you set out for. But have faith in Krishna that Krishna makes no error. There is no error in his judgment. Okay. That whatever outcome you got is what you deserved. Okay. Now you will either try with a different approach, with more seriousness. It's possible you may still not get it. Okay. Maybe it's just not in the card, not in your destiny. But once you have done your bit, the part that was in your control, there is no point worrying about it. There is no point getting anxious about it. Does that
Okay.
make sense, Prabhu? I don't know
Yes,
if
yes.
that's what
Thank
it
you.
is.
Thank you. Yes, correct. Yes.
So that's the principle of that's what we discuss in Karmanyavadhikaraste. Ma, who can recite this verse? I don't want to recite the whole thing. 2.47. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu
Mafaleshu
kadachana.
kadachana.
Ma-
May I, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
I think Sakshi Mataji wants to.
Okay, Sakshi Mataji, go ahead.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भुर् I forgot the last part.
Mate Sango Asta.
This is Sangotsva Karmani.
Hari Bol.
Very bold, very nice, Prabhu. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Okay,
We
let's
have
go.
all the Pandits here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the mood, this is the point that we have to get very much trained in our scriptures so that we can present it in a very clear, concise way with clarity, okay, and with Shastric references. Not only for ourselves, we need this knowledge on a daily basis for ourselves, but also for everybody, because we have to go back to Godhead and we have to take everybody back to Godhead with us. So thank you for trying to learn these scriptures. Okay, let's go to the next one. 4.23. Gata sangasya muktasya
सङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य
jnanavasthita chetasa
ज्ञानावस्थिता चेतसा
चेतसा
yagyaya charita karma
यज्ञाचरता कर्म
यज्ञाचारः
samagram praviliyate.
समग्रं प्रविलीयते.
Okay, can somebody read this? Please read the whole thing.
Can I read?
Yes, please.
The work, Hare Krishna. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. Purport. Becoming fully conscious, one is free from all dualities and thus is free from the contaminations of the material modes. He can become liberated because he knows his constitutional position in relationship with Krishna. And thus, his mind cannot be drawn from Krishna consciousness. Consequently, whatever he does for Krishna, who is the primeval Vishnu. Therefore, all his works are technically sacrifices because sacrifice aims at satisfying the Supreme Person, Vishnu, Krishna. The resultant reactions to all such work certainly merge into transcendence and one does not suffer material effects. Hari Bol.
Okay, so this is very straightforward actually. Gata sangasya muktasya. Let's look at the Sanskrit. Whenever the word sangha comes, it typically refers to, so it's not referring to sat sangha. It's referring to, that's why when we say good association, we have to say sat sangha. Typically, sangha in our scriptures refer to material association, the association of this world, okay? Association of matter or three modes of material nature. Satoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. These are the three main energies of this material world which control every jiva, all living entities. So, Sangha means attachment to matter or association of matter. So, Krishna is further saying, so this person, now further qualities of this person are that this person, this is, here Krishna will finish on this. He'll say that he's saying that this person, now you can see this person is free of material contamination, right? Because he's not contaminated by dualities of this world. He's not getting envious. He's not getting pulled into the unnecessary ambitions or competition with this world, with the people of this world. So he's very much free from the various contaminations this world creates. Okay, that's what this world creates. It creates unnecessary criticism, contamination, and entanglement, and dualities, and enviousness, and whatnot. So he's free from all those things. So he's gata sangasya muktasya. He's free from the control of the matter. Gyan avasthita chetasa. Chetasa means consciousness, or you can say mind. Typically, we say consciousness. So his consciousness is fixed in gyan. Avasthita means fixed or situated in gyan. What kind of gyan? In the wisdom. Okay, wisdom means like transcendental knowledge. So this chapter is titled Transcendental Knowledge, Divine Knowledge. We're not talking about the gyan of this world. Please remember the gyan of this world is sometimes referred to as avidya in our scriptures because various types of material sciences, let's say it is rocket science or various types of physical sciences, science of medical science or rocket science, whatever, thermodynamics, all these nuclear sciences, all these sciences can actually create more, take you away from the Lord. Okay, they can take you away from self-realization. Sometimes they can create more false ego or bodily identification or ahankar. Okay, so when we say gyan, typically we talk about wisdom or the self-realization in our scriptures. Okay, the real gyan, the real vidya, the real knowledge is the one that takes you towards the Lord. Okay, it takes you towards self-realization. So such a person, he's free from material contamination. His consciousness is fixed in wisdom. Okay, Yagyaya acharta karma. He does activities for sacrifice. Yagyaya. So we are back to yagya. Remember, yagya means what is yagya called in English? What would have been, what can we call it? Sacrifice, right? Remember, third and fourth chapter, we are talking a lot about yagya or sacrifice. So he works only for yagya, for sacrifice, because now from next verse, the concept of yagya will start again. So Krishna will describe different types of yagya. That's why I'm pointing this word to you. Yagya means sacrifice. So he works as if doing a yagya or sacrifice. Samagram praviliyate, and he is, so this person is completely merged in transcendence. Okay, merged in transcendence. He's beyond the control of matter. He's situated in transcendental knowledge. He's working for yagya or sacrifice. So this person is living in this material world, but he's not of this world. He's operating on a transcendental platform. He's operating on a divine platform. So from outside, it may look like he's a teacher or he's a lawyer or he's a warrior like Arjun, but his consciousness is situated in wisdom. His intention of working is for love and sacrifice of the Lord, and he's free from material contamination. So his consciousness in fighting is very different from the, let's say consciousness of Duryodhan or the Kaurav party. His consciousness is transcendental. So he's completely absorbed in transcendence, situated on transcendental divine platform. We also call it Brahma Bhuta platform, Brahman platform. Brahman is something beyond this world. Okay. So he is situated in transcendence. And he does not suffer material effects. So he's doing everything as yagya. Okay. Now going back to who can tell me why karma, how can karma be yagya? We've discussed this many times now. And that is what we'll discuss more in next verse, but I want to hear from someone. Sakshi Mataji, would you like to share your understanding? How can karma be yagya or sacrifice? It isn't typically yagya refers to fire sacrifice.
Yes, Mataji, but when it comes to sacrificing karma, it is the same concept of inaction, a little bit. Doing our karma and sacrificing the results of those karma to Krishna. Whatever I'm doing right now, I'm doing it with the best of my ability, and the results of it, मेरा उस पर अधिकार नहीं है, and that is a sacrifice to Krishna. Hence, it's also a yagya with my
Yes, Hari Bol. Wonderful.
Yeah. The sacrifice to Krishna, I thought of telling Sakshi Mataji mentioned the same. We are towards to God to sit Mataji.
Yeah. He's sacrificing everything, right? His intention is to please or satisfy Krishna. He's also sacrificing his time his talents, the skills that he acquired for that job, all of those are being sacrificed as if offering oblations in fire. So that's why in third chapter we had discussed that yajna is not only just fire sacrifice. In fire sacrifice, we offer butter, ghee, grains, all these things, and mantras are offered into the fire. But here, when we do activity, how does that become a yajna? Because we are offering our time, our focus, our attention, our absorption, our skill set, our talents, our body, our senses, our mind, intelligence, everything is absorbed in that work. And the goal is to satisfy Krishna, not for any personal result. So we have sacrificed those results also in service of Krishna, whatever Krishna desires, jo Hari Ichha. So in this way, it becomes a yajna. So let's hear that more from Krishna, how he describes this as a yajna. 4.24. Brahma arpanam brahma havir. Brahma arpanam brahma havir. Brahma agnau brahmana hutam. Brahma agnau brahmana hutam. Brahmeva tena gantavyam.
ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम्
Brahma karma samadhina. Brahma karma.
कर्म समाधिना.
You see how many times the word Brahma comes? That's why I was clarifying in the last verse, Brahma Bhuta or Brahma. So this is not referring to Lord Brahma, okay? Please remember. This is referring to transcendence. This is referring to Supreme Brahman. This is referring to something that is beyond this world, the absolute truth, okay? So typically, people that have knowledge of Brahman are called Brahmans. Okay, so there are two words, Brahman and Brahman. Those that know Brahman are called Brahmans. So without having the knowledge of transcendence or of divinity, of absolute truth, of the divinity beyond this world, you cannot be called Brahman. So Brahmans are those that have knowledge of Brahman. So Brahma or Brahman refers to similarly brahmachari word comes like that. Those that chari means walking. So those that walk on the platform of Brahman on in transcendence. Okay, so this is the word Brahma here. Can somebody read this translation?
I can read it, Mataji.
Yes.
A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute, and that which is offered is of the spiritual nature, of the same spiritual nature. Purport.
Mataji, wait, let's discuss because it'll be hard to understand. I'm going to share my whiteboard. Let's write and understand this. So, because there are so many Brahma words used here, and Krishna is describing how this is a yajna. Okay, this nishkam karma or a karma, how does that become a yajna? So let's take from the first. Please keep your Bhagavad Gita open and you can see. The first is Brahma arpanam. Okay, I will stop writing Brahma from now. We'll just focus on. So arpanam means something that is offered. Okay. Basically the oblation that you put in the fire. So you can say, you can call it oblation or thing that you put inside. Okay, contribution. Arpanam. Brahma Havir. Second word is Brahma Havir. Havir means like a fuel, sort of, or the ghee or the butter, which is put to facilitate that um, oblation to be accepted by the fire. Is that right? So you'll put butter or ghee for the fire to keep going so that whatever grains you're putting will get into the fire, will get absorbed by the fire. So this havir can refer to the fuel or the butter or the ghee. So basically, what is this havir? This havir is you can say fuel or you can say the process. Prabhupada is translating it as a process. Okay, the process that you follow. You can also call it intention. We can also call it, some teachers have also translated as intention behind what we do. Okay. Brahma Havir. And where are you offering this? You're offering it in the Agni. So the next word is Brahma. Look at your Sanskrit. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havir, Brahma Agnau. So you're offering it in the Agni. Agni is the fire, okay? Fire which will accept that offering, that contribution. So who is this fire in case of karma? So of course this is the fire of karma we're talking about. So who is the Agni? This is the Supreme Lord. We are giving up our karma to the Supreme Lord. So the Agni is, the fire is Supreme Lord. We're doing it for his satisfaction. The next is Brahma Hutam. Hutam is the person who's offering, okay? Who is the person that's offering here? The offerer, basically, the contributor. Who is the person that is offering? Is the spirit soul. Okay, the contributor is the spirit soul, the jiva. Like we can just say soul. Okay, then the next is Brahm eva tena gantavyam. Where does this person, gantavya means destination. Where does this person go? Where does this person go? What is his gati? His gantavya, his destination is also Brahma. Brahma eva tena gantavyam, meaning he goes to the spiritual world. Okay, he will, what is his destination? If he works like this, he will go to spiritual world. Okay, his destination will be supreme, you can say. So supreme world or spiritual world. He will go to supreme destination. The last phrase is Brahma Karma Samadhina. And what is so this type of work, so ultimately Krishna is saying this type of work is Brahma Karma. Brahma Karma means this is spiritual work. So remember, we keep talking about throughout the concept of a karma, that a karma is not a material work, it is Brahma karma, it is spiritual work. Such a person is completely absorbed as if in samadhi. Samadhi means like trance. He is in samadhi into this type of spiritual work. Okay, and what is the yajna here? He is offering his work and results, okay, into the fire. Fire is the Supreme Lord. So he's working for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, for the pleasure, for the love of the Supreme Lord. And his intention meaning or the process, whatever the process he has to do to engage in work. There is so much that goes into working, right? You have to wake up in the morning, you have to train for it, you have to get dressed for it, you have to show up on time, you have to have a car, you have to get along with people, you have to behave properly. There is a code of conduct that you have to follow. So much, whole process goes into working. Then there is focus of work. You have to pay full attention, all these things. This is the whole process of work, okay? That enables that work to be given to the Supreme Lord, okay? So just like butter enables the grains to be accepted by the fire, similarly that process enables the work to be accepted by the Supreme Lord. And who is doing this? This person that is doing is a spirit soul. We are spirit soul. We are already Brahma. We are already a spiritual entity. We are not a material entity. We do not belong to this world. So we should work with a spiritual consciousness, and this is the correct consciousness where you work for satisfaction of Supreme. You work with this type of intention, with this type of process, and you give up that work and the results of that work for Supreme. Such work becomes spiritual work, and such a work is one you should be absorbed in, take samadhi or be in trance, and then you will get Brahma Gantavyam, a spiritual world. Let me go back to the screen. Then let's read Prabhupada's purport. So this is just the Sanskrit that I told you. Okay, Mataji, please continue.
Purport: how activities in Krishna consciousness can lead one ultimately to the spiritual goal is described here. There are various activities in Krishna consciousness, and all of them will be described in the following verses. But for the present, just the principle of Krishna consciousness is described. A conditioned soul, entangled in material contamination, is sure to act in material atmosphere, and yet he has to get out of such an environment. The process by which the conditioned soul can get out of the material atmosphere is Krishna consciousness. For example, a patient who is suffering from a disorder of the bowels due to overindulgence in milk products is cured by another milk product, namely curds. The materially absorbed conditioned soul can be cured by Krishna consciousness as set forth here in the Gita. This process is generally known as yajna or activities, sacrifices simply meant for the satisfaction of Vishnu or Krishna. The more the activities of the material world are performed in Krishna consciousness or for Vishnu only, the more the atmosphere becomes spiritualized by complete absorption. The word Brahman, means spiritual. The Lord is spiritual, and the rays of his transcendental body are called Brahma Jyoti. His spiritual effulgence, everything that exists in is situated in that Brahma Jyoti. But when the Jyoti is covered by illusion, Maya, or sense gratification, it is called material. This material veil can be removed at once by Krishna consciousness. Thus, the offering for the sake of Krishna consciousness, the consuming agent of such an offering or contribution, the process of consumption, the contributor, and the result are all combined together, Brahman, or the absolute truth. The absolute truth covered by Maya is called material. Material Material dovetailed for the cause of the absolute truth regains its spiritual quality. Krishna consciousness is the process of converting the illusory consciousness into Brahman or the Supreme. When the mind is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, it is said to be in samadhi or trance. Anything done in such transcendental consciousness is called yajna or sacrifice for the Absolute. In that condition of spiritual consciousness, the contributor, the contribution, the consumption, the performer or leader of the performance, and the result or ultimate gain, everything becomes one in the Absolute, the Supreme Brahman. That is the method of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I think this last paragraph is most important. In this line, very nice line, Prabhupada says, a conditioned soul entangled in material contamination is sure to act in the material atmosphere. We cannot help but act in material atmosphere, right? So we are very deliberately, very consciously. That's why we keep saying the word Krishna consciousness, because we have to act in this consciousness of being conscious of Krishna all the time. So we have to change our consciousness with which we act in this world, and then we can get out of such an environment. So very deliberately, very intentionally, very consciously, you have to work in service of Krishna. And then you dovetail the matter, everything that you've been given, the work, the everything for service of Krishna, and everything then becomes spiritual. So everything independent of Krishna will be matter. Everything that is used in conjunction with Krishna, in service of Krishna, is dependent on Krishna, is becomes spiritual. Okay. So basically 0 without a 1 is 0, but 0 with 1, 1 being Krishna, has some value. So no matter how many zeros you add, it will just stay 0, right? 2 zeros, 3 zeros, 4 zeros, 5 zeros, they're all zeros unless you add the 1 in front of it, with that 1 is Krishna. So everything that you do, if you do in this Krishna consciousness, with this deliberate, intentional effort of pleasing Krishna, then that work becomes spiritual work, Brahma Karma, and it is said to be in some, then you can be completely in samadhi or trance in such a work, absorb yourself in such transcendental consciousness. This is the method of Krishna consciousness. Let's let me see if we can do one or two more. So Krishna will now, so Krishna has already transitioned the topic from this verse. He started talking about yagyas. Now he will talk about different types of yagyas. So different people, they have different types of inclinations. So what kind of yagyas they do? Not everybody is working in Krishna consciousness. What are they doing? So till 27, this 24 to 20, 25, 26, 27 are about different types of yagyas. Let's do this one. Devam eva pare yagyam. Devam eva pare yagyam. Yogina paryupasate.
Yogina priyapasate
Brahma Aganau Apare Yagyam
Brahma Aganav Yagyanam
Yagye Vau Apajuhavati Yagye
Yagya
Vopajuyati
Yagye Vopa
Yagye Naivo Apajuhvati.
Yajnena Juhvati.
Good, good. You got it. Okay. Who wants to read this one?
Mataji, can I?
Yes, Mataji.
Jyotima. So we read the synonyms too, Mataji.
Mataji's translation, and then I'll tell you the Sanskrit in a minute.
Translation by His Divine Grace Abhayacharna Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman.
Let me show you the Sanskrit very quick. We'll read this purport and then I'll discuss. So two types of people are described here. Okay. So this is not Krishna conscious people. Okay. These two people. So first two lines are talking about those who do the yajna for demigods. Okay. So they worship demigods. Deva means demigods. They do the yajna or sacrifices by worshipping demigods. So this is one class of people. And remember, from our past study of Bhagavad Gita, we have understood that typically demigods means Devi Devatas. They are the subordinates of Krishna. They are subservient. They are running. They are controllers of this material world. Various maintainers and controllers of this world that do various services for Krishna in this world. So those are the Devi Devatas, and there are many in number. So typically they are worshipped by people to get some material gains and benefits, to get some comforts, some higher or better destinations, so for various things of this world. Those are typically temporary because those are the things of this world which tend to be temporary. So that is why devas are worshipped. The second type of yajna is Brahma Agnau Apare. Apare word comes many times in next couple of verses also, because Krishna is describing what other people do. Okay, we already learned what Krishna conscious process is, where you do everything for satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Now we're talking about what other apare means other people will do. So some other people, Krishna is saying, worship demigods, and then some other people do the yajna for impersonal liberation. So this is also Brahma, but they are doing it for impersonal aspect of the absolute truth. Okay, impersonal aspect of absolute truth means for Brahma Jyoti, for Brahman, but not for service or love of the Lord, but to get liberation from the problems of this world. They want to just get freed from the cycle of birth and death. They don't want to come back here, but they do not have any specific intention to love or serve the Lord either. So that is impersonal liberation. Okay. So for that, some people do yajna. So these are demigod worshippers, and this is impersonal Brahman or liberation desire, people that desire that. Yes, Mataji, please continue with the purport. Jyoti Mataji, please continue.
As described above, a person engaged in discharging duties in Krishna consciousness is also called a perfect yogi or a first-class mystic. But there are others also who perform similar sacrifices in the worship of demigods, and still others who sacrifice to the Supreme Brahman or the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord. So there are different kinds of sacrifices in terms of different categories. Such different categories of sacrifice by different types of performers only superficially demark varieties of sacrifice. Factually, sacrifice means to satisfy the Supreme Lord Vishnu, who is also known as Yajna. All the different varieties of sacrifice can be placed within two primary divisions, namely sacrifice of worldly possessions and sacrifice in pursuit of transcendental knowledge. Those who are in Krishna consciousness sacrifice all material possessions for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, while others who want some temporary material happiness sacrifice their material possessions to satisfy demigods such as Indra, the sun god, etc. and others who are impersonalists sacrifice their identity by merging into the existence of impersonal Brahman. The demigods are powerful living entities appointed by the Supreme Lord for the maintenance and supervision of all material functions like the heating, watering, and lighting of the universe. Those who are interested in material benefits worship the demigods by various sacrifices according to the Vedic rituals. They are called Bahuvishwaravadi, or believers in many gods, but others who worship the impersonal feature of the absolute truth and regard the forms of demigods as temporary, sacrifice their individual selves in the supreme fire and thus end their individual existence by merging into the existence of the supreme. Such impersonalists sacrifice their time in philosophical speculation to understand the transcendental nature of the supreme. In other words, the fruitive workers sacrifice their material possessions for material enjoyment, whereas the impersonalist sacrifices his material designations with a view to merging into the existence of the Supreme. For the impersonalist, the fire altar of sacrifice is the Supreme Brahman, and the offering is the self being consumed by the fire of Brahman. The Krishna conscious person, like Arjuna, however, sacrifices everything for the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus all his material possessions as well as his own self, everything is sacrificed for Krishna. Thus, he is the first class yogi, but he does not lose his individual existence. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. So this is a little bit of technical purport. So let's again understand this. Okay, so Prabhupada, what is Prabhupada saying? So Prabhupada is saying there are different types of categories, different kinds of sacrifices in different categories by different types of performers. Okay, so remember the first two lines were talking about Deva worshippers. Okay, Deva, demigod worshippers. The other was impersonalist that worship Supreme Brahman, but they want liberation. They want to merge their existence into the Supreme Brahman, impersonal Brahman. Okay. Okay, so let's understand about both these two people. First of all, what is the belief? So Prabhupada has covered these points in the purport. What is the belief system of these people? Okay, what does this person want? What is the belief system of Deva? They believe in many gods. So Prabhupada is saying they are Bahu Ishwaravadi. They believe there are many gods. So they can pick whoever god whichever one they want, and they start praying to him. They start offering yajna or sacrifice to different types of gods. Okay, the demigods, they think they are basically there to facilitate their material enjoyments and comforts, etc. There are different types of gods, and we can pray to them. So that's one. They believe in many gods. The impersonalists, okay, these type of spiritualists, the impersonalists, they understand that these demigods are temporary. They understand that the demigods are temporary forms of Brahman, okay. But and they believe in the Brahman, they believe in a Brahma Jyoti, okay. They know that if one goes beyond this world, they can merge themselves into this Brahma Jyoti, but they do not believe in the form of the Lord. They do not believe that there is a person, Bhagwan. They do not believe in Bhagwan. Okay, they believe in liberation in Brahma Jyoti, but they do not believe in a form of Lord with which one can have relationships, emotional exchanges, loving pastimes, activities. They do not believe in that form of Bhagwan. Okay, so this is impersonalist belief system. So this is the belief system. Once we understand their belief, then we understand what is the purpose of their worship or their yajna. So when demigod worshippers, deva worshippers are doing yajna for various deities, for various demigods, their purpose is to get some benefit, some temporary gain or benefit, okay, in this world. So this will be material because it is worldly benefit. Okay, it will be a material benefit. It is something that they can enjoy. Let's say I want a child, I want a good husband, I want a good spouse, or promotion, or luxury, wealth, or lot of beauty in next birth, or a very high birth, anything like that. There could be many motivations, but whatever they want, that is this worldly stuff. So it is temporary. Okay, that's their purpose. What does impersonal spiritualist want? He knows that the things of this world are futile. Okay, it's wasteful to want these things. They're temporary. We should not want these things. So he wants to get out of this world. He wants liberation. Okay, he wants to get out of the cycle of birth and death. That's why he's doing that yagya for Brahman. He wants to get out of this world. So he has been frustrated enough in this world. He has gone through the anxieties and problems of this world, that he wants to get freed from the entanglements of this world. That's why he wants liberation. Prabhupada often calls these people that have become frustrated in their sense gratification. They tried everything, nothing has worked, so now they just want to get free. Okay, so this is also a type of escape route, or like a selfish type of mentality, but there is no desire for service, or love, or a desire to establish relationship with the Supreme Lord. Okay. And what are they sacrificing in this yagya that they're doing? So this is their purpose. Then they do the yagya. What do they sacrifice in this yagya? So Prabhupada is describing in the purport that Deva worshippers will sacrifice some material possession, right? So to please the demigods, they will do different things. Some people even do austerities, right? Like some vratas, vows, various um, things they do. So Prabhupada is describing material possessions they will sacrifice. Like they may give some charity, they may give some donations to the temples, but the goal is that they want to please a particular deity. So they may give some possessions, they may have yagya, they may organize yagyas to please a deity, and they get some benefits out of that particular yagya. So they give some material possessions. Typically, it's money or some other things. Impersonal Brahman, these people, what do they give? Prabhupada is saying they give up their material designations. Okay, this person gave up his material possession. These people typically don't have any material possessions to begin with, because these are like jnanis and yogis. So they don't have any material possession. They want to be freed from this world, so they do not believe in possessing things. And they also give up not only material possessions, but they give up their material designations also. So whatever roles, responsibilities they have in life, like Arjun was going to go to run away from this fight, give up his Kshatriya designation and become a Jnani or yogi in the forest. He wanted to go do some austerities in the forest. So he was going to become this type of Jnani or yogi. Okay, these people are often referred to in scriptures as Jnani or yogi. Okay, these are yogis. So they give up their material designations also. Okay. And okay, I think this is it. Now let's take a Krishna conscious person, a person who Prabhupada keeps comparing these two people with. What a Krishna conscious person does, what is his belief system? He believes in Bhagwan. He believes in a form of Lord who reciprocates with you, who cares about you, who comes time and time again and exchanges, relationships, and creates these legendary pastimes like Ramayana happened. So Bhagwan creates these legendary pastimes that are then discussed for millions and millions of years to come. He engages people in his service. He has variety of pastimes and variety of rasas, in numerous forms he can come, but he's a person. He's a Bhagwan who wants you to establish a connection, a relationship of love and service with him. Okay, so they believe in Bhagwan. What is their purpose? Their purpose is his satisfaction, his love, and to establish relationship with him. So whatever they do do things for his pleasure, his satisfaction. Okay. What do they sacrifice? So they may not sacrifice like they will not give away. They do not believe that these possessions or designations are theirs to give away. Okay. They do not think that, let's say I have been given a husband, so I should just, or my husband should think, okay, I should give up my family and just step away and go to the forest, or I should give up my job, or I should give up my home and just leave and go away. So These people do not think that these things are theirs to give away. Rather, Krishna conscious devotee believes that Bhagwan has given these possessions and designations to use in his service. They are loaned to him for a small amount of time and they have to be used in service. So whatever he has, he uses it in service of Krishna. He does not exploit these things for his enjoyment. Okay, he does not use these things for his enjoyment. He does not use or misuse these designations for his power, name, fame, followers, and things. He does not misuse his possessions for just his own sense gratification and enjoyment. Rather, he uses these things in service. Okay. So this is called Yukta Vairagya. So he's also Vairagi. He's also a detached person, but such, please remember this terminology. Yukta, this is very big in our tradition. Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means to use everything, to not just give up things, thinking like if you have money. So not to just give up, I'm not gonna, I'm not going to earn any more money. Rather, whatever money you get, you use it in enhancing the Krishna consciousness movement and preaching in giving this self-realization knowledge and whatnot. So that is called Yukt Vairagya. So to use everything in service of Krishna. This is the concept of a Krishna conscious devotee. So he does not just give up. So this is what Prabhupada has described, the belief system of three people, their purpose when they do this yajna or this type of worship, and what are they sacrificing in this yajna. Is it clear?
So, I see myself or most of the people around me falling into the first category. They pray for many gods in the morning and then wish for something. Is that a wrong thing to do?
So who can answer that? So Prabhu, let's hear from you. You understand that we want to get out of this world, right?
Right.
So if we are wanting things of this world, then are we saying we want to get out of here, or are we trying to stay here more?
I think we are getting attached more.
Yeah, you got it. You answered your own question, right? So if we are asking for things of this world, then we are creating more comforts in this world. We are creating more attachments, more entanglement in this world. And it's like we took this analogy last time. Let's say you are in a train. So in a train, there is an economy class and there is let's say, a luxury class. So even if you pray to demigods and go to luxury class, let's say you get a better body, you get better, more wealth, more power, more position in next life because you prayed to the demigods and they gave you all the things that you wanted. All aapki manovancha, all the desires have been fulfilled. So you moved up to the luxury box of the train, but still you're stuck in the train, right? You did not reach the destination. You're still stuck in the train. So it's not just enough to ask the demigods for things of this world, the comforts of this world. You will just keep getting more and more entangled. But yeah, let's hear from somebody else. I think Ravi Prabhu was sharing. Prabhuji, please share more thoughts on that.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. So, to be very precise, it's relatively wrong, Prabhuji, but because our souls are conditioned in such a way that we want to enjoy, this is how we are here on this planet right now. If we had already given up all our sense enjoyment, we would have been with Krishna. So, but that conditioning is there with us since the beginning. So we start the worshipping demigods. This is how we see all around us. And we do this demigod worshipping yajna. We'll do some Indra yajna, we have different Devi yajna. But then once we get to the knowledge after reading the scriptures, which is Bhagavad Gita, the essence of everything, and having the satsang, like the devotees association, then we come to the higher understanding that yes, we are still going to be entangled, not only in this material world. We can get the luxury even of the higher planets like a Swargalok, where we can have more sense enjoyment. But then once we have the understanding, as we grow and we decondition ourselves, then it becomes wrong to continue the worshipping. We can continue the worshipping of demigods, but ask them also, give me the bhakti so I can go and start serving. I don't want to be coming back and forth in this janma and mrityu, like death and birth. So that's a higher understanding, but relatively wrong. So it's nothing wrong. Don't have that consciousness that, hey, I'm doing this, so I don't do any negative talking to ourselves, because our soul is conditioned this way. That is why we are here.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yeah, so
Thank you.
it's like a school, right? So you're in first grade. So that's a little bit of lower principle to ask for things from demigods. So it's like studying first grade maths, but it's a beginning. At least we are in the Vedic umbrella, in the Vedic realm. We have entered the school. But now, once we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are in, let's say, 10th grade now. So let's not keep focusing on the first grade maths. Let's now lift our, just say, on a ladder, unless you lift your foot off the lower rung, you cannot get to the next rung. You have to lift off your foot to get to the next level. So slowly start breaking this conditioning, like Prabhuji was describing. Conditioning means this getting used to doing something. So we are used to asking for things for our body. So let's stop and focus more on the real self, which is where Bhagavad Gita comes in, because Krishna opens Bhagavad Gita, opens the whole concept with who we are, with the identity. Since we are not this body, we are the soul. Let's focus more on the real self, on the jiva, the spirit soul that we are. We are part and parcel of the Lord. We are servants of the Lord. So keep that identity, always bring back to the center. In the course of the day, you will keep getting distracted, keep getting deviated towards bodily things, but keep coming back to the real identity that I am not this body, I am the soul. I better focus more on my spiritual well-being. And all these things, there is a push from this world to want these things of material world, comforts and promotions and enjoyments and sense gratification. But let me distract myself from the noise created by this world. Let me focus on who I am and what Bhagavad Gita tells me, what Krishna tells me in Bhagavad Gita, who I am.
Yeah, Mataji, understanding all these things is a bit difficult because of family life and dependent people. For them, we need to ask God, hey, please give something to my family. Even I have connected to God, I am fine. But family needs something, Mataji and Ravi Shankar ji.
Can I hear?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Okay. So,
Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, it's let me tell you a very, very straight statement. Whatever we're going to get in this body is already been destined. That's called prarabdha. So whether we ask or don't ask, it's going to come. Like, do we ever ask for any distress, any sorrow in our life?
No, we did not ask that. Yes.
We did not. Does it come to us?
Yes.
Yes, because that's called prarabdha. Same thing, the happiness and the enjoyment and luxury and the fame, everything is already been chipped. It's already program has been done when this body was created. Which is called, this body, the human body, is the programmed of two things, sukha and dukkha, dvanda. So it is going to come, whether we ask or whether we don't ask. But that is with that understanding, we have to move. And then it's called Sharanagati. Raise your hand to God and say, okay, Joi Joi, Pyaro Kare, Soi Moi Bhave. Means whatever you will do, I will like it. Whether you give me the distress or the happiness. It's my own doing. It's on my own making. And then we'll progress, because then you offer everything to him and then say, okay, this is what you gave me today. Everything belongs to you. Krishna Arpanamastu. And then move on. Then you see the bhakti, as Mataji was saying. The rung on the ladder, our leg has been lifted now. Now we're going to move forward, move upward. So don't ask, it will come. It's already been programmed.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Do I make sense?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Prabhu, I just saw your question in the chat, answer to that.
Yes. Yeah.
As for family, a couple more things other than what Ravi Prabhu said. So, number one, they will learn and grow from your, what we say, character, your etiquette, your acharan. In Sanskrit or Hindi, the word acharan is used with your conduct. So they'll see the changes, the transformation happening with you. You will not be able to artificially encourage them to follow this path or to become detached. But by your as you immerse more in Bhagavad Gita, you will see that your personality, your um, everything will transform. Your bad habits will start going away. You will become more sober, more grounded, anger, irritability, all these things, you'll be more satisfied. All these things Krishna was talking about, more satisfied, not so very steady in dvandva or dualities, right? So people will see that change and people will be inspired by that change. So you set an example for your family, and they will be very motivated when they see those positive transformations happening in your character and your mood and your conduct with them. Your dealings with them will change. So that will inspire them. And then secondly, you do have to do your due diligence in maintaining the family. Some comforts and some things are needed. Let's say a jobless person, if I'm just making it up, but let's say somebody has no job. So when I say, we are asking for these things, a jobless person, if asks Krishna, please engage me in some kind of job, some kind of service, I have this skill set, I want to feed my family, that's not a material demand, okay? That's not a material um, benefit that he's asking for, because unless we feed our family, unless we have some basic system of sustenance in this world, we cannot even keep our body and soul together, right? So we have to have some basic foundational way of keeping people, our family together and our bodies together. So it's for a jobless person, for somebody who wants to make a little bit more so that he can be more satisfied in this world, how he's functioning, it's okay to ask for those things. But we encourage not to go to Devi Devtas or do artificial upayas for those, but to sincerely pray to Krishna to engage your skill sets and your talents in such a way that you can be helpful to your family, to your country, and nurture them in a positive way. It's like a sick person asking for some health. It's okay, because if you're sick, it's not possible to engage in any service or do anything positive for the family, even spiritually, if you're very sick, right? If you're not doing well. So it's okay to ask, first of all, ask Krishna and engage in devotional service or bhakti, because bhakti can trump the destiny, the prarabdha that Prabhuji was talking about. So we come with the prarabdha, but if we have a sincere desire to serve Krishna, then whatever basic maintenance we need, Krishna will provide as long as we are sincere and serious in our path. So the central goal is central, but some peripheral things are needed sometimes, and they're not completely material if they are to be used in service of Krishna in the long run. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Yeah.
So we don't encourage going to Devi Devtas. We don't encourage doing horoscopes and astrologers and other upayas like yagyas and things that people do to fix their destiny. Those upayas are not needed, because ultimately you do have to suffer the destiny that was destined for you. Okay, the prarabdha will come back. So we only rely on Krishna to save us, to maintain us, to protect us, and our short-term material things are needed for the long game of spiritual benefit. So we rakshishaibi iti vishwaso. We should have full faith in Krishna's protection and maintenance. But for
Yes,
that, you have to engage in service of Krishna.
yes, Mataji.
Um,
Thank you.
okay. Let's see, who else? Anybody else wants to share? Okay, Prabhuji's question I can answer unless somebody else has any.
Mataji, I have one last follow-up question on that.
Yes, Prabhu.
Ravi Shankar Prabhu said, okay, prarabdha karma would be coming on your way. That is something that cannot be avoided. So, by knowingly or unknowingly, we might have done something in our past, maybe in our past janma, or when we I mean, in our present life also. Is that something that I have to go through that, or is that something that can be avoided?
Very nice question, Prabhu. Yeah, so these are, as we go through Bhagavad Gita, all these things will become clear. but I'll just quickly answer because everything has many, tangents or nuances. The basic understanding of that is that Krishna says in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Sarv dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashami ma shucha. So, whatever sins you have committed, whatever knowingly or unknowingly, some karmic reactions you have generated, there are some karmic reactions that you would have to tolerate. There is no way for us to know, first of all. I do not know what reactions have fructified for me that I have to tolerate, and what are still in the seed form that have not fructified that may fructify in future. I have no way of knowing my past karma and which karmas are in the seedling form and which karmas are in the fructified form. I do not know any of that. Okay. So Krishna says you do not need to know about Gahana Karmano Gati. Last time we read this verse, Gahana Karmano Gati. Karmas are like a jal, like a web, spider web. We don't know which action led to what reaction and when we will face that reaction, whether we have already faced it or not, whether we are going to face it in immediate future, or whether Krishna will remove it altogether or not. No way to know any of this. So all you can do is, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, just give up all these dharmas, meaning all these, concerns and this demigod worship or all these type of material dharmas. Mam ekam sharanam raja, just come to my shelter. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will remove all the sinful reactions. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshay shami ma shucha. I will deliver you from all the reactions. Ma shucha, do not fear. So this is the point that I was saying just now. Rakshi Shaibeti Vishwaso, have full faith in Krishna that Krishna is our best friend, best well-wisher. He knows what is best for us. He will give us what is needed, in how much amount is needed, and when it is needed. To only that extent, he will give us some karmic reaction, not more, not less. And he will remove some reactions. He will pure in the due course of time, we will only get purified. So if some reactions do come, it's okay, tolerate it. This is Krishna's way of purifying us, of teaching us a lesson. Okay. It's like a devotee thinks it in this way. If I fell down a few stairs, and hurt myself, maybe Krishna decreased my reaction. Maybe I was supposed to fall from a building, but Krishna made it happen in such a way that I just fell a few stairs. Maybe I just broke my arm instead of breaking my whole body. Instead of breaking my skull, only my arm broke. Maybe I was supposed to get more, and Krishna has actually diminished it. So it's possible by bhakti. All that is in, always worry about. In long run, just remember this principle. Always worry about things that are in your control. Do not worry about things that are not in our control. Our karmic reactions, our karmas, past karma are not in our control. Our current and future karma are in our control, number one. Our
Yes.
bhakti is in our control. How much we surrender, how seriously, sincerely we approach Krishna is in our control. Just focus on these things. Do not worry in the past what happened. It's like, I also gave an analogy last time. It's like trying to fix a broken egg. You cannot fix a
Right.
broken egg, only Krishna can. So, something or other may come back to you. It may come back less, it may come back more, it may come back immediately, it may come back 10 years from now. We don't know. Don't worry about it. Right now, here and now, we are now in contact with Bhagavad Gita. We have an opportunity to surrender to Krishna, take shelter of this knowledge, take shelter of Krishna, and just whatever he wants to do is fine from then on.
Right. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu, I couldn't take your question.
Yes, Mataji. So,
Suhas, Mataji. Suhas, is this Mataji or Prabhuji? Sorry, when you give
It's a
example.
Mataji. Suhas is the Mataji who met us last Saturday in temple with the
Oh,
children.
yes, Mataji. Oh, Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji, for joining us. Yes. We were
Yeah.
hoping you would join us yesterday at the home program.
Yes, Mataji, sorry. I had other commitments, so I couldn't come, but I joined you guys in between, like live when you were on Facebook. So,
Oh,
yeah, I attended partially.
okay. Yeah, please join us next time. I think
Sure,
we'll,
sure,
yeah.
sure.
Go
So
ahead,
when you
Mataji. You were
give
sharing.
I was just saying thank you that when you give some example of the verses, it makes more sense. because in daily life we are not used to of listening and understanding those verses. Like it is little difficult to understand Sanskrit shlokas, but when you connect with the daily routine, it makes more sense. So I just wanted to thank for that.
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Okay, I think we've exceeded our time, so we'll join next Sunday. Thank you everyone for joining. I know it was a long day yesterday, and again, you all
Mataji,
sincere.
I've posted the question, but we will discuss next time
It's true.
about form of Brahman and form of Bhagavan. No form of Brahman and form of Bhagavan. And another question, Ravi Shankar Prabhuji also mentioned. I have another question regarding the manifestation. I believe manifestation from my childhood, whether I am teaching that is in a correct way to my kid or not. I think about this, it will come. I did that. I wrote it down in my books, notes, diaries, and I achieved. Maybe it is a coincidence or not, I don't know. But still, I'm believing manifestation, Mataji. Next time we will discuss.
Yes.
I'm good. Thank you.
Yes, sure. We can open with those questions next time. Just remind when we start the class next time. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you Ramesh Prabhu, Ravi Prabhu, Sakshi Mataji so much for your services yesterday. It was wonderful, made possible by all of you. You were diligently serving throughout the whole program. It means a lot. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji, for wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll
Hare
start.
Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavad
Hare
Gita ki
Krishna.
jai, Jagat Guru Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai,
Jai.
Panchakalparupascha Kripa Sindhu
Kripa Sindhu Vaibhya Patitanam Pavane Bhayo Vaishnave Bhayo Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.